My RuneScape investment fund is already up 70 million GP, and in this episode, we're going to push that over 200 mil and do our first community giveaway. Remember that all the money we make with this investment fund is going to be used to fund community events and do giveaways, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of this cash that we'll be giving away. We're starting off this episode with a very interesting investment that I secured while in between last episode and this episode. 3 weeks back or so, I noticed that air orbs were at a pretty cheap price compared to where they've been trending the past month or so, and we were able to buy a large quantity, around 1,030 each, which I'll show you here in a minute, but we pretty much rode out that investment all the way up in price, and we're able to sell a lot of air orbs at 1,191 each. I was able to buy 164,000 air orbs for 1,025 GP each, and in total invested 169 mil into this flip, and I'm happy to report that after we sold off these air orbs, we made a profit of 25 mil. Now keep in mind, I did invest the entire Cashstack into this flip, and some of the reasoning behind why I did this is because I was actually going on vacation for about 10 days, and I wanted to find a way where I could just buy something and forget about it. Once I got back, it still took like another 2 weeks to sell this off successfully for this price, but now that we've done it, we've increased our Cashstack by 25 mils. That was actually a pretty good investment overall. We'll collect the cash right now and secure that profit, 195 mil on the account. I just launched a RuneScape investment newsletter, which points out the best item investments I find within the game every single month. So if you're someone who wants to make long-term investments in-game, but don't have the time or expertise to find good flip opportunities, consider checking out my Patreon page with the link in the description below. I also have written flipping guides, item flipping lists, and an example newsletter that you can view completely for free. Anyway, back to the video. Really happy with this investment overall, and it's actually motivated me to do more long-term investing on this account, so we'll be showcasing more of that here in the future. Now that we have all of our cash back in the account, I'm going to set some passive flips for the week and also discuss the next investment that I am looking at that I'm hoping to hold for a couple months. And we have our flips listed for the week. I don't think all of these will take the entire week, and these overscales in particular are going to be a bit faster of a flip, but they're at a really good price and looking steady, and I think they might even uptrend a bit more, so I wanted to list those. Everything else has just had some safe but weekly swings that are typical. Besides the Runite bolts, I want to talk about these for a minute. Runite bolts have gone down a ton in price. You can see here on the graph that the Runite bolts are currently trading between 45 and 50 GP. But if we look at the 6-month graph as well, you can see that the price has just completely deflated on the Runite bolts. Now, I'm not typically someone who invests in value, but these Runite bolts are looking super cheap, and I'm seeing a little bit of stability around the 45 to 60 GP range. You can see things have traded a lot more sideways in the past, I'd say 2 months or so. And I think this is a pretty good time to start building up a position in the Runite bolts. So that is what I'm going to start doing today. I think ideally we start to build up a pretty sizable position in the Runite bolts, and we'll maybe try to sell it off in 3 months into the future once we finish buying our complete investment. This is definitely going to be an investment that takes longer compared to some of the other stuff we've done so far. That being said, it will be a safe investment, and I'm really not that worried about it. If we need to increase the size of our position as well, it won't really cost that much money. We'll leave these flips, we'll check later in the week and see how good we're looking. It has been about a week, and we've made a ton of bank here. Looking at the current prices, and we have our full investment on Runite bolts completely bought. As you can see, I've already sold some of the stuff back. The Fremenite kilts, which we flipped 7 of for a 739k profit, coming in at 105k profit each. The dwarf cannon sets, which made us bank, by the way, 666k for all of the dwarf cannon sets. And we also got the Runite ore off as well, a 57k profit. Also forgot to mention the leather skirts, which we actually didn't make as much as I thought we would on, but still a 519k profit. But the items that we haven't sold back yet are looking really, really good. Strong margins on the Zolver scales, the steel bars, and the black D-high chaps. So let's go ahead and list this back onto the Grand Exchange. We've got our items listed and they're already starting to sell a 2 mil profit week over week already. And if these Zulrah scales, steel bars, and black d'hide chaps sell at these prices, we'll be adding about another 2.5 mil profit on top of that, so 5 mil week over week, barely checking our flips. And the rest of our items have sold a massive margin on these Zulrah scales, coming in at a 14 GP margin, which is very nice. We also made 1 mil on the black d'hide chaps. That is more than I thought we'd make, and 300k on the steel bars, a little bit less than I thought we'd make, but still a 15 GP margin for each bar, which I guess is not too bad. That is a 6.1 mil profit week over week. That is really, really good. We're going to go back onto the exchange, list another full exchange of items, and have another profitable week. Our next set of flips is listed for the week. I did change things up a little bit this week, focusing on some new items we haven't flipped yet, such as the crystal keys and the Shattered Relic Void ornament kits. That is a mouthful. But anyway, I think these are going to work out for us. We did do some same items as last week as well, such as the Runite ore, and some of our tried and true items, such as the Mithril Dart. Remember, when I'm flipping my Cashstack here, I'm focusing on safe, passive flips. This means that I'm going to set these flips and not check them pretty much all week, not adjust the prices, and come back to a safe profit. That is why you don't see me listing a lot of really expensive items that contain larger margins, because that's just not as safe. And even though we can make more profit that way, the profit is not as guaranteed. I decided I'd hop on and sell some of these flips back. The Runite ore, specifically the Dragon Spear, the Crystal Keys, all of these I'm going to sell back. Oh, and the Void Ornament kits as well. Clockworks. I just saw a bunch of stuff filling out a bit faster than I expected, so I thought, why not go ahead and sell this? And maybe if we want to come back later, relist these same items, then we can do that. I just find it hard when you're looking at a good profit, not just to take it right then, even if it does require a bit more management. I was able to cycle through a bunch of stuff last night. Basically, anything that I thought bought pretty quickly, I just turned around and listed as a sell offer. From everything that had bought up to last night, we made about a mil, which isn't bad at all. I've only been letting these flips sit for about 24 hours. So what we'll do is we'll just relist everything again. I know it seems repetitive, but sometimes flipping can be a boring but easy task to do. And it's been about a week since the last update. We've definitely turned a lot of profit here on all these items, but the issue is I don't know exactly how much profit I've made, as I just built a new computer and I have not transferred over my flipping utilities file to the new computer, so we're gonna have to start all the stats from scratch. But if we collect everything here, we should be able to see the total profit. What I'm doing right now is adjusting all my offers to sell them off quickly so we can see how much total profit we're currently at. Of course, we're still going to be making a profit on all of these flips, but considering we've waited a week already, I think it's time to move the prices around. There we go, the best site to see on the Grand Exchange. Let's go ahead and collect all of that. 197 mil. We're so close to 200 mil right now, and we're actually at 200 mil if you include the Runite bolts. We have our flips listed. A little bit more risk on this one with the Blood Moon Tassets, the Trover Parchments, and the Dual. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one, as well as the Brimstone Rings, but we have those safe flips in there as well, the Mithril Darts, Adamant Darts, Bolt Racks, and potentially Gold Bars. Those should be our safe earners in case things go badly. It has been about 5 days, and while the items I thought were going to buy and drive a lot of our profit didn't end up buying, we still made some solid gains week over week. We had a really nice flip on the Bolt Racks and the Trover Parchments. We got a 12 GP margin on the Bolt Racks, which I was not expecting, a 30% ROI. The only thing that could have been better is if we bought a few more of them, but not a big deal. We also made 21k for every Trover Parchment we flipped, and that was a super simple flip. Besides that, we made 500k on the Brimstone Rings, Adamant Darts, and about 223k on the Mithril Darts. I relisted the Grand Exchange with some flips. These are going to be more of like a 48-hour time frame for all of these flips. Sort of besides the Mithril Darts, Adamant Darts, and Dwarf Cannon sets, because I know those will be fine if we just leave them. But for everything else, I'm trying to hunt a little bit more profit. So the Blood Moon Tacits, we moved up that price offer, as well as the dual Choddles, or whatever they're called. We also put some new stuff in there, hoping for the most profit possible. It's been a few days, all around, not a great profit, but we did make a lot of money on these dual Machados, whatever the heck they're called. I cannot pronounce that. 913k, just flipping 2 of them, so if we got the full limit, we would have made bank, but we did miss that one, unfortunately. Besides that, all around solid flips going through the exchange here. 136k profit on the Mithril Darts, a little bit low, as well as the grimy Taromin as well. But as we walked through before, a big profit on the Dwarf Cannon sets. That has been a real profit maker for us, so we'll definitely continue to flip that. It does require a fair bit of investment up front, but it's super safe and super easy to flip. We're going to leave the rest of our offers and put some new stuff in as well. And those are the flips for the future. We have a little bit of money on the sidelines, but that's not a huge deal. Also, I did want to point out that our Runite bolts have not really moved in price, currently sitting at 52 GP. That being said, I did see these at 56 GP the other day, so they might be starting to trend up. I have to take a closer look. Fair bit of risk on the exchange right now. The Zulver Skills and the Impling Jars are a bit risky, and the Blood Moon Tacits I do not think are going to buy. These things are ripping up like crazy, so we might list something here as well. We put some simple Toxic Staves in. That is going to be a risky one, but again, we're starting to take a little bit more risk as the cash stack has increased, to hopefully accelerate our gains and get you guys some more bonds. All around the board, looking at some really solid profit here. We're going to collect all of this into the cash stack. That is 207 mil in the stack now, and we still have our Runite Bolt investment. We listed the Grand Exchange with mostly safe items, some of our most reliable items we've had on the series, and then we're going to try and flip some Cannonballs as well, which I know is a safer, higher volume item. We're going to let this sit for a couple more days, and then I think we'll wrap up the episode looking at just how much profit we've made and give away both bonds. Although we are pulling about 100 GP margin on the Grimy Ranars. It has been a few days, and the Black D'hide Chaps have sold. That is a 350k profit for the 350 Black Hide Chaps that we flipped. The only downside we have going right now is the Cannonballs are taking a major L. We bought these, and they crashed hard. We're probably down, I would say, over 5 mil on these Cannonballs alone, and we only have 60k of them, which is a really scary sight. That's okay though, we took a little bit more risk, we tried to get in on some Cannonballs, and then they took a very unexpected dive. We're going to clean up all these flips right now and try and sell things back, and it has been about a week, and although we did make a lot of profit over the week, we still lost money overall due to the loss on the Cannonballs. That does feel a little bit bad, but I'm not going to take it too much to heart, as we've made a lot of profit over the time of this series, and we were also able to sell off our Runite Bolt investment, which did make us 3.3 mil. Let's go ahead and collect the cash stack. That is 222 mil in the stack right now. That is an absolute massive gain since the start of the series. As I mentioned in the start of this series, let's not forget that this money is to be used for the community. So what I'm going to do in this video is give away 2 bonds, and to win these bonds, all you have to do is comment your Discord name down below, and also be joined in the Scapenomics Discord, which is linked in the description below. And that brings us to the end of this episode. 197.8 mil in the cash stack, and 2 bonds to give away. Again, if you want to join the giveaway, just comment your Discord name down below, and also make sure you're joined in the Scapenomics Discord, which is linked in the description. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the series. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video.